Hey everyone, welcome back to a manga review. So on a frequent basis, we here at Manga Storian like to go to the local bookstore and we pick up manga. We get all kinds of weird stuff. If you've never been to your local bookstore like Barnes & Noble or like more of a, big box bookstore, not like a niche shop, you'll come across manga that is sealed in plastic wraps and it has a parental advisory on it. Now, as a joke, we started picking up some of these because the original joke was there's no way that this is basically hentai. If you watched earlier videos, you know how we came across the book Dick Fight Island, which is just hentai. Well, the joke continued. It didn't stop there with me buying Dick Fight Island. I bought a book called Witches of... what is it?
Adamas.
Witches of Adamas, because it had a bunch of large-breasted women on the cover. It was shrink-wrapped like this, and it said parental advisory. And the joke is, when people show up in the office, I hand them these as assignments. Like, I flip through these to see if they're hentai or not right away, and if they are, they don't go on the channel traditionally, because I don't read them. There's a number of reasons I don't read hentai. It's not because I dislike it. So anyway, I handed the Witches of Adamas to Houston, who, if you've been around Comic Storian or Eligible Monster or our podcast or the D&D channel, you're aware of who Houston is. He's my assistant. He's in the house all day. He sees all the comics, reads them all, plays all the games. He took home these 3 volumes of Witches of Adamas and read them. And then he was describing to me what this manga is about. So I thought, what if we started Houston's Hentai Corner? Give me a third H, Houston's Hentai Hallway, the Triple H series here at Manga Storian. So this is your parental advisory warning for me to you. He's going to tell you what happens in this. He's the first guy in our team to just sit down and read. He says he'll use family-friendly terms. Houston, come on down here.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to, Houston's Hentai Hallway, where I'm going to describe to you the Witches of Adamas. Now, it was just sitting there, and Benny's wife so nicely asked me to please get this out of my house, so I took it home. And I'm like, you know what? Let's see what this is actually about. And it's not hentai, but it's pretty dang close. So, it starts out with our hero, and he's having some him time, thinking about large-breasted women, and as he relieves himself, he feels like he had a kidney stone. Turns out it was not a kidney stone. This man can produce rose diamonds when he has happy fun time, because that's a thing. Every time he has happy fun time, he produces one of these diamonds. He does it again because he learned that these diamonds are worth 5 million yen. So he's going to the pawn shop to sell them. He faints in the middle of the street because, he just happy fun timed 3 diamonds out of himself, and the pain was too much for him. And he gets to the doctor's office, and obviously the doctor is a very well-endowed woman, who tells him about this disease he has, which I can't quite remember the name of the disease, but it's something of Adamas, hence the name The Witches of Adamas. And the carbon in his body, every time he relieves himself, produces one of these rose-covered diamonds. However, there's consequences to this. You can't just make 5 million yen and there not be consequences, right? It takes a year of his life off. So, there is a cure. The cure is not to relieve himself for 2 to 3 years. And it's a ride. Let's just say that it's a ride for him not to do this for the next 3 years. Because, as the name entails, the Witches of Adamas, the witches are a group of people who find men with this disease so they can obviously make them relieve themselves and sell the diamonds back and whatnot. So, his adventure now is he must not relieve himself so he can live, and he wants to eventually be able to start a family. Because, it's a family-friendly manga. Yes, family-friendly. However, these witches have special powers to potentially help him relieve himself. He runs into one. who has, he's just out to dinner to eat a nice burger. However, somebody comes up with him and magically unzips his pants and is using her feet as a magical weapon to help him produce diamonds. And he has to then fight back with his own feet to so he doesn't relieve himself and makes her relieve herself. The more I talk about this, the more I think it is just hentai, but very, very mild hentai, because you don't see any of that stuff. You just see, you just see boobs. You don't see anything else. But we have a new character. I've only read the first volume. I don't know where it's going to go yet. But there's a new character who has this disease, who has learned perfect control. That's his, his special power, where he can not relieve himself, but still have happy fun times with all of his harem. Oh, I also forgot one thing. To make it harder on himself, if you don't relieve yourself for 2 weeks, your body starts to produce more testosterone and pheromones. So now everybody in his school wants him, all of the girls, including the teachers. It gets awkward. But yeah, that's the Witches of Adamas pretty much summed up, family-friendly style to an extent. But yeah, maybe we'll read the second one and see where it goes.
If you guys liked Houston's Hentai Corner or Houston's Hentai
Hallway, you can't even get the name right.
If you guys liked Houston's Hentai Hallway, we'll continue to buy the shrunk wrap manga, and he'll tell you about them on a regular basis. I can't promise frequency, but regular basis. Like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below how Houston did describing super happy fun time with the Witches of Adamas.